Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Thursday. So many people who used our Detect Detox Kit who tested high for toxic chemicals are linked to their food products. Unfortunately, some of the most toxic food are also the most addictive. Additives in food, toxic chemicals in packaging can mess up with our hormones, and all of these can cause a person to overeat or undereat. That's why today we're really excited to have Kim Shapira joining us. Kim is the founder of the Kim Shapira Methods. Kim is a celebrity dietitian and nutritional therapist, and she has really, really great information, and we can't wait to share it with you. And I particularly love Kim's method, so I just thought...
Hi, Kim.
Hi, it's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, so nice to see you. Huge fan. I'm so excited about today's chat. So thank you.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. So excited.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your background and what led you become like a dietitian and nutritional therapist.
Oh my gosh, there's so much there. How much time do we have? um, yeah, so, what I know to be true is that everybody has these triggers that form in the first 7 years of their life. And so if we go through something traumatizing, we develop other triggers and then we work to master them the rest of our life. And so when I was young, I got sick and there became a trigger and all I wanted to do was be healthy. And so I picked a career where I get to be healthy or my healthiest self and then help people become healthy. And so that's pretty much like early on, I knew that food could either make people really sick or they could change the way they felt. And that's how I started this and started into this journey. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love food. And sometimes I think it's
Everybody
like
does.
really hard to control, right? So um I know you're a celebrity dietitian. Don't want to put you on the spot, but could you tell us some of the celebrities that you work with?
No, but that's fun. I would say that they're mostly just like people. That's all they are, and I think they think of me as a therapist. And so, I try and keep it, just very professional. Some of them, I don't know. They're a lot of different people. I've been in the practice over 25 years. And so I see a lot of different people and I'm in Los Angeles. So I don't know, getting away from that question.
Yeah, we're gonna get into your method because I think that's a highlight. I just love that. But what I also find it really interesting. You also work with companies like General Meal. So, how have you helped these big brands and then these companies?
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about my method first. Early on, when I started helping people with diets, because when I went to graduate school, that's what we learned. We learned if you follow this diet, it prevents diabetes. And if you follow this diet, it prevents heart disease. And, these are some diets that you should follow if you're epileptic or whatnot. And so really that was my training. And so what had happened is I started straight in putting people on diets to lose weight and to make them healthy, right? To prevent any major diseases. And my clients were losing weight because people are good dieters. They're very black and white. And then one of my clients said to me, I'm going to gain the weight back. And I said, why would you do that? Totally triggering me. And she said,
Yeah.
well, my husband wants to have sex all the time. And I was molested as a child. And I thought, oh, I have no preparation for this. I'm so confused because we know what foods are healthy and what foods can make you healthy. And I'm confused on why you wouldn't want to stay at a healthier weight for you, meaning all of your blood pressure, your blood sugars, all of your heart markers are intact. And I didn't understand really the psychology. And so when I was 12 and in the hospital, I had really developed a fierce shopping addiction because anytime I had seen the doctor, my parents had said to me, we'll go shopping after, don't worry. And it was a great coping mechanism. I was 12. I didn't exactly know what was happening, But as I was listening to my client and recognizing that she wasn't eating foods because they were healthy, but more because they were comforting, I started recognizing the parallels between my shopping and her eating. And so as I was kind of healing myself, I started applying those steps. And so the first rule, so I have 6 of them. The first rule is to eat when you're hungry. What's very interesting is that people on a diet or people who want to lose weight, they don't focus on hunger. And we all have to pee. And if we didn't have to pee, we would go to the doctor. And hunger is usually a sign that your body is working, metabolizing what you ate, and it's time to eat. But people eat because food is fun, food is in front of them, food is a lot more pleasurable than what they're feeling in their body. And so getting people to eat when they're hungry is the first step. And there's 2 other parts. And the second part is to make sure that you take your normal portion, whatever you would normally eat, and cut it in half and wait 15 minutes to see if you need more food. So we know it takes 15 minutes from the time the food hits your mouth to get to your stomach until that hormone, ghrelin, tells your mind you've had enough food. But all of us can overeat a ton of food in 15 minutes. Right. And in reality, it only takes 3 or 4 minutes to eat. And so then we've got 6 or 7 or 9 minutes where we're still hungry, except we really have been nourished. And so we need to start trusting that it's okay to be hungry. We want to be hungry again soon and eat again. So again, the first rule is eat when you're hungry, start with your normal portion, wait 15 minutes, and then scan your body and see if you need more food. You probably won't. Any questions about that?
No, I love it. It's so simple. It feels so simple, but I guess people just need to be really mindful and then practice this.
Yeah. And I would say a good thing to do is practice mindfulness, whether it's 30 minutes or a minute in your day, because honestly, being mindful means that you're recognizing your mind is thinking about something other than this moment. And the practice of finding your mind and bringing it into this moment is mindfulness. And so if you're able to say like, oh, I'm thinking about food, and then you scan your body, then you can recognize I'm thinking about it because I'm in a bad mood, or my chest is tight, or because actually I'm hungry, right? Okay, so rule number 2 is to eat what you love. This one sounds super scary to a lot of people because they only heard ice cream and pastries. That's not what I said, because what I'm actually saying is that you're in a relationship with the food you eat. And the food is making you sick. And would you really love something that is hurting you?
Nope.
No. And so if you can bring your awareness to the fact that when I eat blueberries, I get diarrhea. And even though those blueberries are healthy and a superfood, they may not be healthy for me. And so allowing myself to eat whatever I want, finding out how they're affecting my body, really makes room for me to change my mind. If you told me that I couldn't eat blueberries, all I would want are blueberries. Right? And so just this idea of understanding, like, they're not good for my body, helps me say no without feeling restricted.
Right.
Yeah.
The feeling of restriction will actually help you kind of go the opposite way.
Yes. Yeah. And like my goal is sustainable health, right? And so how can I get you to lose weight and keep it off? And only lose weight if you need to lose weight or want to lose weight for the right reasons, and then actually keep it off, because diets, you cannot be successful if you're restricting something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The third rule is to eat without distractions. Again, this is definitely important to find your mind. People eat because food is in front of them for emotional reasons and for hunger. And the goal is to just get them to eat when they're hungry, to recognize that food is fuel, that it's not the party, it's not our source of entertainment. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And rule number 4 is 10,000 steps. And so I would strongly urge you guys to all check out how many steps you're actually getting and just aim for a little bit more. So this is a journey we're talking about and something for you to do for the rest of your life. So if you're not at 10,000, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for you to constantly progressing in that direction. So adding a little bit more, or actually finding the places where you can do more. And once, if you're already somebody who does the 10,000, then maybe you need to look at flexibility and strength training, cardiovascular, like fitness is just all about so many different things.
Right, right.
But you cannot maintain your weight loss if you don't move your body.
Right.
Yeah. And the fifth rule is to have 8 cups of water. So water is our natural detoxing system. It works on every single organ and it cleanses every organ, making sure that we are flushing any toxins in our body. It's the secret sauce to losing weight. If you don't drink enough water, you cannot lose weight. And so we really have to work on upping that water. Yeah. And then the last rule is 7 hours of sleep. So the 7 hours of sleep, some people have a problem falling asleep. Some people have a problem staying asleep. And we have to just manage all of those issues and get you soundly sleeping for 7 hours so you can manage, obviously, your adrenal glands, your blood sugar, maybe it's not obvious, and your blood sugars. So not sleeping affects your cortisol levels, which then wreaks havoc on your hormones, your blood sugar, and other things.
Assuming people should also be sleeping at the right time, not, sleeping at 7 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, your body loves consistency, right? It likes to go to sleep at the same time every day. It likes to wake up. It likes to have a bowel movement. It likes to eat. And so the more consistent you are with this, the more trusting your body becomes and gives up what you don't need. So it really finding the right time, whether it's 9:30 at night or 10 o'clock, and being consistent. Yeah, that's it. Those are the rules. That's my method. And that's where I'm having success in helping people keep the weight off.
This is amazing. Someone joined late, asked us to go over it again.
Oh,
okay,
right.
Let me try, because I think this is so important for people to understand. So first is to understand that you should only eat when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Really understanding your relationship with the food. Don't just eat for pleasure or anything. Really understand what your body is calling. Only eat when you're hungry. Second is to only eat the food that you like.
Yeah. Go on, dog.
Yeah, and understand that some food might not be good for you. So only eat the ones that's good for you. Personally tailored to your health.
Yes, and yes. And don't worry what anyone else is doing. Focus on what you need. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I guess I left the first part is also making sure if you're eating, make sure you have 15 minutes in between you eat. So making sure that your body is responding, that you're full, so that you don't overeat. So the 15-minute mark actually starts as soon as you start eating. So you don't have to wait 15 minutes from the last bite. It's from the first bite. And the word full is actually interesting. We're actually looking for more satiated, to be satisfied. So you know how if you were just eating food and you were just alone with your meal, let's say, enjoying your food, and then suddenly you started looking for a book to read or a phone to do something, that you're probably not hungry. Right.
You're probably eating out of boredom. When a person is actually hungry, they don't mind just eating their food.
Right.
Yeah.
So then this brings to rule number 3 and making sure you're not distracted when you're eating. So focus on your food.
Yes.
And then the rule number 4 is making sure you have 10,000 steps a day, or you can also add in other cardios or other exercise, because you need both. You need nutrition and you also need exercise.
Yeah.
To maintain your weight goal or your health in general.
Exactly.
And rule number 5 is making sure you drink enough water.
8 cups. Yeah.
8 cups, 8-ounce cup water. So without the water, you can't really detox. And our body's made of 98% of water anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, did I miss anything?
Sleep. You missed sleep.
Right, sleep.
Yeah.
7 hours sleep at least. Quality sleep.
And it's interesting, when you don't get enough sleep, you make poor decisions.
Right.
And so all 6 of these rules really do layer on top of each other and affect your outcome. So if you are trying to lose weight, what I have figured out, if you can follow all 6 rules at about 90%, you can lose up to 3 pounds a week. If you follow the rules at 80%, you're losing anywhere from a half a pound to a pound and a half a week. If you're following the rules, it's 70% you're staying the same weight. 60% you're gaining weight. So ultimately, if you have weight to lose and you need to lose weight, you really want to shoot for 80 to 90%. If you're working on staying the same weight, you're just looking at 70 to 80%, right? To be well.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I just thought about this question is, while I was a trainer as a dietitian, we always also worried about the liquid calorie.
Yes.
And liquid calorie, sometimes you don't feel full. Does the liquid calorie also register this 15 minutes mark?
It
or
does.
That's like a less? It does. Okay.
It does. Yeah. It's, so liquid calorie, you're referring to yogurts, ice cream, applesauce, wine,
Right.
juice,
Right.
shakes, smoothies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Latte, that cup of latte.
Sure. Yes, exactly. So all of it. A latte, it's interesting why people choose a latte versus like a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
And so a latte really is serving as a snack. And a cup of coffee doesn't really have any calories, maybe 5 or 6 calories, where a latte could have 120.
Right.
And so just that simple change, might make you hungrier. And the goal is to be hungry, but not to stay hungry.
Mhm.
Just like if the goal is to pee. If we didn't have to pee, we'd have a problem. Being hungry means our body is working properly. But if we stay hungry, then it tells our body to slow down all body functions. So we want to get hungry. We don't want to stay hungry, but we do want it to happen often.
Right.
So it's interesting. If you don't get hungry every 3 hours, it might be a sign that you might have overeaten your last meal.
I love it. I love it. Some people, so 3 hours is a good way to think about it, because I think sometimes people also can't really tell, like, what does it mean if they're like really hungry?
Yeah. I mean, what does it mean to you to be really hungry? Do you know what hunger feels like?
My stomach start growling, I started losing my attention, and then like I get hangry.
Yeah. So you just that was 3 totally different levels of hunger, right?
Mhm.
So first is I think about food. Does that mean I'm hungry? Not necessarily. But then I check in with my stomach and I recognize, oh, I'm a little hungry, like for an apple.
Mhm.
But now maybe my stomach is growling, which could mean I need more food than an apple. If I'm getting to the point of low blood sugar and I'm shaking and hangry, I think that could be a blood sugar issue, or it could be starving.
Right.
Now, not everyone who's hungry has a blood sugar issue. And so sometimes it's just a blood sugar issue, or people are afraid they're going to have low blood sugar, and that's why they're eating. So it would be important for you to recognize, okay, I'm shaky, but I'm not hungry.
Mhm.
And so this would be, definitely you need more water. Definitely you need to work on your sleep, and definitely you need to be eating every 3 hours, because that's what regulates your blood sugar.
Wow, I love this. So people are also into portion control, right? So what are some helpful tips you can share for a person who begin to think about portion control of their meals?
Yeah. So by taking your normal portion and cutting it in half, you're eliminating this concern for portion control. So when you and I go to a restaurant and eat, we both order chicken piccata. The chef is preparing our plates exactly the same. If your chicken was bigger than my chicken, I'm going to be really upset, right? I might not eat all the chicken, but I'm not going to like that he's eating more than me.
Right.
And so it is the same portion, but I am 5'2". I actually don't know how tall you are. And maybe we're joined someone who's an NFL player sitting with us, and so is my 12-year-old child, and we're all getting the same portion. It cannot be possible that we need the same amount of food in that moment. You don't know if I had a snack right before I got there. You don't know the last time I ate. You don't even know the exercise I've been doing. We don't need the same amount. There's so many factors.
Mhm.
So it comes down to personal responsibility and being able to scan your body to figure out how much of this food do I need right now, right? And so no matter what, you always start with half. This is a fail-safe plan that you will not overeat.
Right.
Then you give yourself that time. Now, let's say I finished half of my chicken piccata in 6 minutes. It's still going to take 15 minutes. So it's been 6 minutes, I still have 8 minutes before I know if I need more food.
Mhm.
Now, there's a lot of FOMO that goes on there, right? Like maybe that chicken piccata is amazing. Maybe I just have never been to that restaurant. Maybe I'm in Italy and I'm never going again, right? At some point, eating a little more is okay. That's called normal. But doing it at every meal, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
It's a problem. So I always want to go back to honoring what I need, always scanning my body and seeing how much I need. And sometimes it's sad that I don't need more food. But I can also take that chicken piccata to eat for my next meal or my snack in 2.5 hours, right? If my health is important and I want to lose weight, what's the priority? The chicken piccata or how my body feels in that moment?
Right.
Yeah. So I would be very careful if somebody's looking at portions on a cereal box or, you know, in a yogurt, whatever they're reading. That's not your portion. You might eat 5 of those. You might eat half of that. But you have to be in this moment. And like I always say, I pour the same amount of cereal for breakfast. Sometimes it's too much and sometimes it's too little. I have to be in this moment to figure out what I need. And it doesn't have to be the same every day.
Yeah. This is also part of listening to your body, kind of back to rule number 1 is making
Always.
sure you only eat it when you're hungry and then making sure you understand that 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Mark.
That's exactly right. It's always going to come back to that. Because what is sustainable health? That's listening to my body, what my body needs, and honoring it, right?
Right. Wow. This is amazing. So I know you offer sessions. So what does an individual session with you look like?
It looks like it's 75 minutes and we kind of go over a health history and family history. And then I teach you all the ways in which you can change things for the better and help yourself. And it's a lot of teaching. And hopefully it's empowering is what it is. And then I also have groups, which are amazing, which, you know, we can be between 5 and 7 women or men at any time. And they're all on the same journey. So this is a very supportive group where, you know, maybe one person's losing 10 pounds, one person's losing 50, one person's losing 75, right? And they're all supporting each other. And it's beautiful.
So who should I request a group session versus like individual session?
It depends on the person, right? And most people like to start privately and then can move when they're comfortable into the group. But some people just want a group. And I think during COVID, the group has really served as a way to get people to connect to other people all over the world. It's been amazing. And people really needed that connection.
And the support and knowing that you're on this journey together, it's very empowering.
It's very empowering. Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love it. So anyone have any questions? Remember the 6 rules. I need to write these down and literally put them in front of my desk.
It sounds like you heard them. Sounds like you totally had them.
Yeah, but it's still kind of nice to have that reminder. I love the 15 minutes mark because so I often eat family meal and I realize if I'm just keep eating and seeing other people eating, I don't really think about it. But now that knowing this, I can actually get the food onto my plate and then make sure I eat 15 minutes, not just gorge everything, and then practicing mindful thinking.
Yeah. I mean, some tricks that you can try is putting your fork down between bites and drinking some water between bites, really slowing down the process. And, you know, there were studies done. There was a soup study done where the participants didn't know that underneath their soup was a refillable bottle. So it was constantly keeping the soup filled. And what they found is that the participants ate 30% more when it was just in front of them. There's been popcorn studies where they found the same numbers. Yeah. So we tend to eat 30% more. And a restaurant serves 33% bigger portions than we would make at home. So with all these numbers, it's crazy for us not to be figuring out how much we need in that moment.
Yeah, I think this really comes down to when we first chatted, this really echoed with me that you're really equipping people with a way they can actually make a decision about food rather than following some rules or dieting. This will allow them to understand their body and then eat mindfully.
Yeah. Yes, that's the goal. I think the only way somebody is going to be successful is when they start being authentic to their true self, right? I mean, every day somebody asks me what to eat And, you know, I would say to them, octopus sandwich. Like, if I tell you what to eat, there's a good chance you're going to eat it and you're going to be successful, but you can't maintain that. You're not going to like it. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so much. This is so incredible. So everyone, thank you for joining us. And then make sure you follow Kim at Kim Shapira Method. And then you can learn more about Kim's service from her website. We'll also have all the information in the LinkedIn bio and the post promoting this IG Live. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you on my side.
Yes. See you soon.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.